It's Shaggy! No, it's the 100% Tuesday podcast, and I am your resident blonde Asian.
And I'm Code Red. And I don't know if you saw my face after you did Shaggy. I was just stunned.
You were surprised?
I was like, I didn't know how to react.
That I did a Shaggy!
Love
Shaggy!
me, love me, love me.
What was the one we were singing?
That wasn't me.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you're probably wondering, where were we singing that? Well, one of us, actually, we are no longer in the same age bracket.
We're not in the same decade anymore.
We took a week off.
Took a week off.
I think people missed us.
I hope people missed us.
But either way, the world continues to rotate and turn about its own axes as well as around the sun because the world is round, not flat.
Exactly. Facts.
And we're both wiser, and technically we're both older. But by numerals, she joined the 4 Goose Egg Club.
I did.
And for her birthday, we went on a cruise.
We went on a cruise. First cruise.
First cruise for both of us.
Yes.
And I would say, am I going to go on a cruise soon?
I mean, I'm not sure how soon, but it's going to happen again.
So are we cruise people?
We could be.
We need our minds changed because we did get seasick. Well, I got seasick the first night, and then it got choppier, and then it caught up to her.
Yep, in the morning. Yep.
And I did have some gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah. I dealt with some other issues later, but I think that had something to do with maybe the food I ate.
I'm sure mine had something to do with the food, or maybe the ice that I had when we were at one of the ports. Yeah. So, still positive.
Oh, great time.
Still wiser.
Still wiser. We learned a lot from it.
Bolder.
Definitely bolder.
Tougher.
A lot tougher.
Stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Cooler.
I mean, obviously.
Calmer. But we've always stuck together.
Yes.
And that's what saves the day.
Yes. Love will save the day. Oh my gosh. Gotta be back. Gotta be bold. Gotta be wiser.
You gotta give Desiree credit where credit is due.
It took me a minute to get there.
I noticed, but I knew you would get there.
I got there. I did. I got there. But it was a great time.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite part?
Yeah.
I have a favorite part.
Why don't you share yours so I can match it in intensity?
No, the whole thing was really cool, but I think just on the particular cruise things that we did and visited or whatever, the silent disco
that was hilariously amazing.
My favorite, one of my favorite experiences I've ever had dancing. It was just so cool.
So at a silent disco, you get things that are better than this. They're wireless.
Yeah.
And there's 2 channels. You're either on the green channel or the blue channel or whatever channels they have.
Yeah.
And you're just bopping to whatever music
whatever it is.
And then you take off your headphones and you're just like, what is happening?
Because there's 2 different songs that people are singing. The best is when you're on a channel. There was times that we both had this experience. I'm on a channel and then this song comes on. I'm like, oh my God. And I look over and I see that you're on a different channel. That's what's cool about the light up on the headphones. And we'd come up to her, they're like, go ahead, change. Or we'd change it for each other.
Was that the night I danced for 3 hours
yes.
straight? I got my groove back.
Yes. Oh my God.
And the thing is that I was surprised at how many people were affected.
It was good.
By my movements.
And I remember just being like, she's just in her moment. She's good.
It didn't stop.
It didn't stop. Even after the silent disco.
Yeah, that's when we had, because I was like, at some point we didn't have headphones because I remember dancing like crazy. Right.
Oh my God, it was such a good time. And we met such cool people too. I think.
Yeah. For sure. For sure, we're going to give a shout out to Jason and Stacy because Jason was the first gentleman we encountered on the cruise.
Yes.
And he was a gentleman.
He was Absolutely a gentleman.
But he told him and Stacy.
They
He
got
and
us.
Stacy rather have the
Yes.
Tuesday vibe.
Absolutely.
And it started with we wanted the motion sickness stuff. That's why we were at not customer care.
Guest services.
Guest services.
Yep.
And he was standing behind us, and then this like 12-year-old kind of sort of read me.
No, I felt like somebody complimented us.
I think it was a compliment, but I think it was
felt like a read.
Well, he made me feel like it was a read.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she's like, I like your dress. And then I'm like, I turned to her and I was like, if that says one more thing. And Jason, like, out of the corner of his eye and ear heard us. And then we just kept running into him, and we didn't know his name for like 3 days.
No, we didn't. No. And then we like we're on the way to like breakfast, I think it was what it was. And then we're walking up and he's like, "Oh, hey." And she was there.
Yes.
And she was like, "Oh my God, these are the girls.
These are your girls.
These are your girls." Like it was the oh my God. He came back right after he met you. He came back to the room and told me all about these cool girls that he met.
We are super cool. We were super cool.
And we had people like call it like as we're walking, we're like 100% Tuesday.
We had a QR code.
Yes,
we really tried to spread the word, but also we were having a lot of fun too.
We were spreading the Tuesday vibe.
Totally. And then we met this other couple, like legitimately the most beautiful couple ever.
They live in Dallas.
Yes.
Oh my God. And we were, God, I was so excited to see them out the last night. Like I remember going up there and getting up there to go dancing, and he saw me come in and he just like ran to me. He's like, "Oh my God, you're here!" and gave me a big hug and pulled me over to her because she wasn't sure if she was coming out.
So that's who we want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both beautiful. Like I was just like, and they're nice.
And no shame on him, but he did do the belly flop contest. His like walk up dance moment.
Okay.
I think you were wandering around somewhere else.
I was having issues.
Okay, yes. But his flop.
Well, he just wanted to be part of it.
Right. He really was though.
But we did make friends with the guy that won the contest.
We did on the last night.
So then there was this bachelor party of 11 guys. Now, at first we were kind of like, oh my God. But the fact that you have 11 friends that can block off all that time, spend that kind of money.
Yes.
That's a good band of friends.
That is a great band of friends.
And did we meet him at the same time?
I don't remember.
My friend West.
Yes.
We bonded.
That was the night that I was out for the count. I was in bed by like 11 o'clock that night.
What's funny is when you left, you're like, I'm going to go upstairs for a moment. And then he like tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, excuse me, where'd you get your espresso martini? I'm like, hey. And then you texted me and she's like, front.
It was, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Why don't you just finish it? Because they had no more espresso.
Yeah, because the cafe closes.
Yeah.
And then they can't get any more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, shout out to Emmanuel.
And
Surdon.
I never learned how to say it.
I did at one
point.
I
remember the nickname, but I don't know if we should say
I don't think we should. But
whatever.
they took care of us.
They took good care of us.
Oh, for sure.
And then we met, who else did we meet that was cool? The guy friends that were on the trip together, the gambler and the diving guy or whatever. They were cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were fun.
That was a good time.
Like, real adults, too.
Right. With
lives,
But the weird thing about it is after like a day, you're like, oh, my God, you're on the ship.
Right.
And you already know like everybody square inch of it.
Kind of. We would get a little bit turned around when we would get up to our floor, and then we're like, oh man, we got to walk all the way down the hall.
That was annoying.
Yeah.
But then we realized business center.
And
we knew where the business was.
Absolutely.
And that was our room, which it was 8 blank blank blank.
Correct. With a balcony. We had a balcony.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had a dance party on the balcony. And the girl next
door, she was vibing.
She joined in on it. And I can't tell, but I think her boyfriend, Yonsei, was kind of like, okay.
Or maybe they were married. I think.
Either way.
I think he was over it.
He was over it pretty quick. But we got a good amount of music in there.
We did. We did.
It was
a good dance party. It was a good vibe
was.
moment. Because I saw her come out and I was like, oh, whatever.
I played like Cake by the Ocean like 27 times.
Yep. I was like, oh man, I wish I had some cake.
I did it in Hawaii. I did have Cake by the Ocean, and I forgot that I did that.
Oh,
But I also didn't know what the song was about.
oh, guess what? Other part of the cruise. So my birthday, the first night, we had a really good dinner, really good steak dinner.
It was so good. I wish I wasn't
so
seasick.
delicious. I know. So much food.
Yeah.
But delicious. So I found out. Remember how they brought me a cake that said "Happy Birthday" and all this stuff on it? Do you know who sent that over?
Who?
My neighbor.
Your neighbor?
Yes. She told me, and it was funny because she was like, "Did you get the message? Did you get the message?" And I was like, yeah, and I didn't know what she was talking about.
Right.
And then we talked about it after, and she's like, that was me. I said, all he kept saying to me was, oh, your friend. It was your friend, And I was like, oh, so I'm like, oh, cool, and then I didn't think anything of it. Cause I'm like, cause I went to the bathroom, I think. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe you just said something to him.
Right. Cause I am her friend.
Obviously. And then, and they did a cake thing with the candle and all that the second night too, when we were in the main dining.
Because they missed us apparently, even though we never met them.
We didn't meet them yet.
They were cool.
They were very cool. So yeah, so then she told me about it. I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, I called them, and I was like, that was the coolest thing.
That's amazing. That's too bad they didn't say who it was from.
I know.
I just assumed because, when you fill out those things, they kind of
right, because it's like your birthday celebration.
Yeah, like why are you coming on this cruise? They know your birthday,
right? Because every time you do anything or whatever, and they swipe in, like your information pulls up, so my birthday would pop up. So a lot of people would be wishing me happy birthday when I was doing something or buying something or whatever.
Right.
So, but overall, it was a fun experience.
We had every intention of podcasting aboard the ship.
We did. We took all of our stuff with us.
Got hassled at security. Like even not Carnival, the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. I was the one carrying the mixer. And they put my bag through, and they're like, they pull it out of my bag, and they're like, "What is this?" I was like, it's a podcast mixer." And they're like, and he didn't even open it after I said that, and they're like, "Okay, so that must have been a first."
Yeah. We did. We wanted to, but
there was not many plugs, and we were celebrating.
Yeah, we were having a good time.
And then we had problems.
Yes.
I bet you if we didn't have problems, we would have done it.
It would have been easier to do it.
We would have done it.
Absolutely.
But you can't blame a set of Tuesday girls for trying.
We tried.
Wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Continuing on. Remember that one day I walked out of the elevator and you were in front of me and I was like, we were turning the corner. I go, bitch. And another lady was coming at us. I'm like, I'm so sorry, not you.
Yes.
So we're very polite aboard the ship.
We are polite. We are.
And then we started singing Shaggy in the elevator. Shaggy in the elevator. And then those girls joined in. I'm like,
did.
They get it.
They totally got it. It was a good time.
We were
vibing.
Yeah.
We got our groove. We got our groove on, our groove back.
Inside.
Upside down.
And inside out.
Bye. We already sang that song.
I know.
It's a good song though.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
So we're going to move on to some housekeeping.
Absolutely.
We had quite a long list.
Yeah.
So to begin with, we did fangirl over Kim Wells. And I may have said, I did get the first year correct of when the National Aerobics Championship was established, sponsored by Crystal Light. But I got the breakdown of the routines wrong.
Okay.
So the routine must be 1 minute and 45 seconds long. Okay. There are 4 basic moves, compulsory moves, if you will.
Yes.
And you need to see 4 consecutive of these 4 moves.
Correct.
You need to see 4 high leg kicks.
Ooh, okay.
4 jumping jacks. 4 sit-ups. And 4 push-ups. 60% of the routine is based on strength, flexibility, form and safety, exercise selection, and transitions.
I like that.
And then the rest, the 40%, is based upon originality, showmanship, music selection, and appearance, which Kim Wells fulfilled all of
those
those.
things. All of them. I forgot about the rhinestones.
I did too, and it was like a nice blue.
Yeah, it was a
It
nice
was a
blue.
royal ass blue.
And like a super vibrant white.
So clean.
So clean.
Like I feel like so when you get like large like bundles of fringe, you know how they have that like little string attached to the fringe? I feel like he didn't peel those off until he got there.
That makes sense.
Or maybe for dress rehearsal.
Could be. Because he has to see how it's going to move.
I think he has a practice one.
I think he might too.
But I think that one's red.
Oh.
And he probably just wore the shorts. I mean, he's really probably working. I mean, he won, so.
Obviously.
I want to know so much more.
I know. I want to know how he did it. I want to know.
We actually, I found his YouTube because they have the one from the National Aerobics Championship, like, committee or whatever.
Yes.
And then there was another one I found, which was just not, didn't have all that branding and the quality wasn't as good. And I said, does anyone know how to get in contact with him or something? I said something to that effect. Yeah. And then he replied, I'm glad the routine brought you so much joy or whatever he said. And then he said, I would love to hear your podcast. I see you. And he did eyes, the emoji, like cartoon eyes. So hopefully he likes it. I mean, we were only positive.
Oh, there was nothing else but to be positive. It was so good. I just loved his energy and just like how happy he was and how I felt out of breath just watching him because wow. Like he's so good. Just so good.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
I also got the name of the artiste who sings, the vocal artist who sings the theme.
Oh.
I said Ty Perry. It is Ty Parr.
Ty Parr.
So I'm not that far off.
No, you were close. I had no idea.
Next on the list, Kazoos.
Oh, yeah. So the Kazoos are known to be from America, from the United States. It is an instrument. And it was actually like from the 1840s.
Wow.
Right? And it was first premiered at the Georgia State Fair.
Premiered? Like how?
Yeah.
Do you have any more details?
Well, it was first called, believe it was like the Cleghorn or something like that. And it is, you are humming into it. It's a resonating thing. So you are humming into it. Yeah. And I think the name kazoo, it sounds like after, I think the Cleghorn sounds correct. It was like gazoo, gazook, like all these weird names that just sounded like an annoying sound. And that is kind of how it became the kazoo. It sounds so like from what I was reading. So, but there was no specific pinpoint of everything.
That's very interesting because I don't know what I thought. Yeah. Because I wasn't sure if it was a toy or an instrument. So I think that's why my opinion of a Cleghorn wasn't very anything.
It was an American and a former enslaved person, and they think that it was like a German.
Ricola.
That's not German.
Well, that's what I thought.
I don't think it is.
I feel like there's lederhosen. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah,
no, it must be Swiss, the Swiss Alps, right? Where you do the Ricola thing. Okay.
So it's like a collaboration kind of a thing
with Switzerland, or
no, with those two.
Oh, and then the final thing we have on our list here, Tiger Electronics for the Skip It. Tiger Electronics is actually an American toy company to begin with. No electronics, just a toy company.
Wow. But so was it just Tiger first, or it's always been Tiger Electronics?
Tiger Electronics.
Wow. Okay.
So when you have a game of darts, you expect some of them to go into the chalkboard in the wood.
Mine usually do if they stick.
Which is why my father never let me play with his set of darts.
I used to like to play darts.
I have it it's kind of like the way I bowl, so it's
which is fun.
Yes.
We're fun at the bowling alley.
Yeah, it's interesting how I throw darts as well as how I bowl. Now we're at that point where we're going to talk about our word. And the word that I drew was one of my major fears, which I will explain. But Mount Everest.
Mount Everest.
Located in Tibet.
Tibet.
And I will elaborate on why it's one of my fears.
Okay.
I somehow got on some sort of Google Wikipedia tangent, and I know it's Wikipedia, but that's how I say it. I feel like that mispronunciation I had to clear up.
Okay. I mean, I got it.
Right. Let's piggyback off of that. The reason why I say Wikipedia is because in my oral communications class, you have to have your sources and like learn how to integrate them into your conversation.
Yeah.
And this girl goes, and this is when Wikipedia was pretty new.
Yeah.
Like people didn't realize it wasn't a valid. Well, we're starting to realize don't use that as a source.
Correct.
Right. And she goes, according to Wikipedia.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. So that's why I say it like that.
Okay.
But anyway, so I got on a tangent and I started looking these things up, and then I looked up Mount Everest, and I'm like, well, is it easy to get to the summit? It just kept going and going, and then I was looking into deaths per year, what countries these people were coming from. And the thing is, which I mean, if you know about Mount Everest and you're like some sort of major mountaineer, you know, we probably sound kind of ignorant.
I mean,
about the subject. However, what I did learn is that if you go, like, there's a certain point, if you go up there, there's something I think called Rainbow Trail or Rainbow Valley.
Okay.
And it's all like the coats, the brightly colored coats of the people who have lost their lives. So your body is basically left there. To recover a body is very expensive.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And that got me thinking, like, first of all, would I ever climb a mountain? But at the same time, I could see myself.
I was answering that question.
I know, but at the same time, I could see myself somehow
ending up there?
Yes. And I'm not afraid of dying. I am afraid of dying, but I'm not afraid of perishing up there. I'm afraid of no one coming to get me. I actually called my mom the next day, and I said, please tell me if I ever get lost on Mount Everest that you will come get me. And she's like, of course, but you're not going. I'm like, I know I'm not, but don't leave me there.
Right.
Send someone up there to put a flag on my body. Do something.
Something.
Okay, we're clear.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I assume that if you're on Mount Everest, I'll be there with you.
I think so.
Probably. So,
Yeah, it's not one of those things where either you do it or I do it. Like, yeah. I feel like we'd be doing it as a team.
We're trying to podcast up on Mount Everest.
That would be crazy.
That would never happen.
And we were doing our very, very, very light research on Mount Everest. In 2020, no one reached the summit.
None.
Goose egg.
But I think maybe that had to do with the big panini.
Well, absolutely. But still. If I reached the top of Mount Everest, do you know how many people I'd be telling every day?
Every day. That's a badge of honor.
I would be telling everybody all the time.
Oh, man.
I feel like the people that reach the summit are very humble because they reach the summit. Like, you do it. You don't need to talk about it.
Oh, God, no. We don't talk about it.
I mean, we would talk about it all the time.
Sorry.
That's not a lie.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, have you ever climbed like a wall or anything?
I mean, I climbed like the rope wall in elementary school.
Yeah, mine had to do with school too. We went on like our senior retreat, and we had to I think they were team building exercises.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And we had to have someone be our counterweight, and I almost made it to. I know I made it to the top, but I didn't want to climb over. Because you still have to come down anyway.
Yeah.
I was about to throw my leg over, and then I looked down. I was like, I'm just going to come back down. I almost had my little, foot, over it. And I was like, I'm going to have to go down anyway. Ingrid, it's your turn.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, never.
But here's the thing. I see how it's like great exercise, probably good for coordination, upper body strength, whatever. But do rock fake like like what do they call it? The hobbyists that do indoor rock climbing. There you go.
Yeah.
Do they do that to go outside? Because I feel like that's not the same thing.
Like a training thing?
Or do people start thinking, next I'm going to climb a mountain?
I really don't think.
Come on.
Maybe.
You know there are people that are probably like that.
I mean, yeah.
Like
probably.
the guy that goes to the store and buys everything you could possibly ever need for indoor rock climbing. Like he thinks like 6 months of doing that.
Yeah, he's going to be a pro.
Ticket to Everest. I mean, I'd feel more prepared if I did that.
I mean, listen, the only mountain I've climbed is Pine Knob. Well, I'm sure I've had some moments where I've seen something like that and been like, oh, no, I can't. Like, I don't know. I don't remember ever really being scared of heights much.
What about the rickety, like, Michigan State Fair, the old giant Ferris wheel?
Yeah, no, I was fine with that.
I was not, and I'll tell you why. So it wasn't the little one where you can only fit 2 people in and there wasn't like an enclosure on top.
Yeah.
So these were the big one. This was the bigger wheel. And I was in there with my ex-husband, and across from us was a grandmother and her grandbaby. And it just depends who's operating the damn wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
If they break it hard or whatever. And, you know, I just wanted to go because that's what you do when you're at the Michigan State Fair. You just ride the Ferris wheel, obviously tilt-a-whirl, and then everything in between is whatever.
Elephant ears, corn dogs,
obviously.
The good stuff.
So we were going around and we were really close to the top. We didn't reach the apex yet.
Got it.
And Poker Face by Lady Gaga comes on. And I'm kind of sweating a little bit because the guy was pretty heavy. Like he's like forward, backward, forward, like to try to get loading the people in at the bottom. And then the little boy just starts.
Which, cool.
And then his grandma was like, oh, baby, please don't do that while we're on the Ferris wheel. And he goes, but Grandma, is Poker Face. It's my favorite song. And she's like, okay, you go on and dance then. And then he's like, okay. It was really cute. So that was like a moment where I let it go.
Okay.
And then it started going and going and going. And then you get off.
You know, I did the Ferris wheel and stuff, but I never really wanted to do the Ferris wheel all that much because it was boring to me.
No one does.
Because, like, you know, you're on and then it's just like you're waiting. You're constantly waiting for the next people to get on. And, like, and then after everybody gets on, you go full once or twice around. And it's like, well, that was just a waste of my time. So unless I wanted to be up there with, like, my middle school boyfriend or something, I don't know.
I definitely got more rounds around the cherry tree than you did because I'd always count to see.
I just don't remember because I didn't really do it much.
It was between 8 and 13.
It wasn't my thing.
But here's the thing. I only wrote it once a year. The fact that I have those numbers in my head still. What does that say? Is that a beautiful mind? Speaking of a beautiful mind, do you know anything about the world's hardest math problem?
Oh.
You know what? We're going to put a pin in that. I'm going to make you watch it.
Okay.
But the formula, 3x minus 1. Well, you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see. I even like hit up my old college professor about it, and he sent me like a graph. And then I replied, yeah, but why?
Valid.
Like people that are like huge mathematicians, they're like, if you want to have a serious career as a mathematician, do not get drawn into this problem.
You know what that makes me think of? I don't know if you're not a movie person.
Are you going to talk about Gizmo?
No.
Oh, like don't feed him water or food after midnight. Like
the math problem situation.
Yeah, I know.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, isn't that kind of like the thing?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. So Matt Damon's character.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
We actually watched it in math class. It was cool.
Yeah, and he does the problem and nobody knows it and stuff.
Like every day he solves the impossible like theorems.
Right, that nobody else can solve.
And then he set it on fire. He's like, this is dumb to me. This is easy.
Yeah.
He like lit it, and then he turned around, and it was, and then that pathetic guy.
Wasn't it the professor that was like?
Yeah,
that
he
was
the one
professor.
blowing it out. Like, he was so pathetic.
And Robin Williams was in that movie.
Yes, he was.
He was the therapist.
Yeah.
He was very good in that movie. I
Yeah.
liked him in serious roles.
I liked him in general.
I liked him in general too, but you didn't always expect him in the serious role, so it was cool to see him in that kind of role.
You know, speaking of roles, this whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, I
Yes.
forget the trial. Johnny Depp. Let's not even give her any airtime.
Correct.
Ugh. Anyway, I did see Willy Wonka, and I remember being so impressed with him.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing that drew me in is he was a strong, very vocal advocate for the West Memphis Three.
Okay.
And what those three, they were boys at the time. They were falsely imprisoned for the murder of a young boy.
Oh, wow.
And there was so, like, at first glance, it kind of seemed like the little town in Kentucky got it right.
Okay.
But they didn't.
No.
And Johnny Depp was like, this is wrong. And then they actually got out of prison. But at this point, like, they did an interview with one of them, and he was like the goth guy, and he was really like sassy on the stand, which did not help his cause. But he's like, it's weird. You go in young, and then one day you wake up, and then you have a doctor telling you, oh, yeah, you have arthritis.
Gosh.
I mean, they were in there that long.
Wow. Falsely imprisoned. That's horrible. It's horrible when that kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
It happens too often.
Yeah.
But no, Johnny Depp, he's, I think I have to say I was somebody that was like, oh, Johnny Depp.
Right, because he was kind of all the time,
all
everywhere.
the time, right? And then after Pirates, I mean, he really, like, he made that role, like Captain Jack Sparrow it's him.
And that's what he was saying when he testified. He said the thing is like when Disney severed his
Right.
like connection with the franchise, he was like, I built him from the ground up. I helped rewrite the jokes and the dialogue and all of that. And, he actually reminded me a little bit of Nina Simone just because you got to hear his whole story.
Yeah.
And I mean, first of all, I could listen to him forever. Pass me an Altoid. Okay. And he reminded me of Nina Simone in the way that how Nina Simone didn't want to be a singer. She wanted to be a concert pianist.
Right.
He wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
And then he got a gig acting, and that's how it went. Music was really important to him. So when she allegedly assisted with the severing of his finger, like, he had to relearn how to do all that. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until, like, I was like, okay, I have the day off. I'm going to watch this. And I'm like, man, this is wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't able to really watch much of it.
You know that she took a woo on his side of the bed.
Yeah.
Like,
disgusting.
I don't even know how I could get worked up enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna show him.
Right? I can't. That's just. Well, not to mention, it's still your bed. Like, you're not just doing it. Okay, yeah, it's his side of the bed, but it's your bed.
And that's the thing that also confused me. Again, these are people who are so rich that I can't even relate.
Right.
Like, he had I guess he had several penthouses in this building, and her friends were living rent-free there.
God.
But she had her own place. So when he said she got, was notified that she did number 22 on his side of the bed, I'm like, but I thought they also had different places. But I mean, I guess they could share beds in different places as well.
Well, but even still, like, I'd
just be disturbed if I saw poo in my bed.
Right. But I mean, I still like, because I primarily sleep on one side of the bed.
Yeah.
I don't usually just like.
I sleep on a diagonal.
I mean, sometimes I'll starfish it in the middle, but that's usually reserved for like those nights when I'm like super tired after work and I'm just like, oh.
I pretend I'm like the grilled cheese that's cut on I'm the cut.
The grilled cheese has to be cut on the diagonal.
I mean, I'll do it in slices.
That's fine.
That's okay. No problems there. Riddle me this.
Okay.
Do you think you could tell the difference between if I took a poop or if Mr. Jax took a poop?
Oh, wow. I don't know. Probably. I would think so.
Do you think you could tell the difference between a human poop versus a tiny teacup Yorkie's poop?
Yes.
She said it was the dogs, which are tiny teacup Yorkies.
She's stupid.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. This allegedly.
Yeah, everything is alleged. These microphones are alleged. My teeth are alleged.
This hair is alleged.
Mine's natural. I don't know. Basement.
Pokemon?
Licorice.
Pikachu.
Shoes for the children.
Tigers.
We're back.
We're back.
Did a little bit of stretching, did a little bit of sipping.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, I was one of those girls at the club because this is when I had black hair. I didn't know any better yet. But I'd be at the club and I'd freak out at the line in that Katy Perry song that's like, sipping gin and juice. And I used to get gin and juice just so I could.
No.
But I got away with it, though. No, I did.
I know. I mean, I don't know firsthand, but I believe it. I was the one in Canada, Windsor in particular, because growing up, I lived pretty close to the border. It was, south of us, of course, being here. And a friend of mine, she would call me and just say, hey, I'm going to be there in 20 minutes. We're going to Canada. And I'm like, all right. We'd be in line, and the bow, 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 that bass of, girl, you look good. Won't you back the up?
Oh, God.
That would come on. I could be the next person in line, and my derriere was leaving that line and running out to the dance floor. Or some DMX. Whatever. Going.
I also remember, picture this, a wristlet, a Coach wristlet, of course.
Obviously.
Maybe Dooney and Burke.
Okay. I only had Coach.
A digital camera.
Yes, digital cameras.
And if you were at that point fortunate enough, a Nokia cell phone.
I did have the little gray one.
Yes.
They were so tiny back then.
Yeah, I miss that phone.
It was a good phone. It was solid. You could throw that thing across the room and
now I'm too afraid to do that.
Now I'm afraid to drop it on your couch.
I mean, honestly, I just only wanted the Nokia phone to play Snake.
I mean, I got it because it worked well where I went to school. I mean, I went to school in the middle of Michigan. So.
Well, I mean, all cell phone companies had their version of that phone.
Right.
And you could get that, or if you got a Razor.
I did not get the Razor.
Well, here's the thing. All my friends had the Razor, and they were like, oh, you have a Nokia phone. And I'm like, it's way cooler. And, I would go to the Philippines, every other year, and that was the cool phone.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm sorry.
I eventually got the Razor. But I also had that, fat, thick Motorola.
Yeah.
Phone, with the kind of dark blue, rubbery outside, and the silver flip phone.
I remember I had they called them the candy bar phones.
Okay.
And then I lost my phone, and I was totally against the idea of having email on me or whatever. But when I lost that phone, the only phones that were available were those slider phones or flip phones.
That's what I was just going to ask you. If you ever had one of those sliders with the full keyboard thing.
I refused.
Yeah, no, me either.
At that point in my life, I was like, a phone is a phone. If I'm angry, I'll get T9 angry at you.
Yeah.
And I ended up with a BlackBerry. And then the only reason I got an iPhone was because it was $50 less than upgrading to a BlackBerry at the time.
I never had a BlackBerry.
I actually really like the little pearl in the middle.
I don't think I ever had a BlackBerry.
And I didn't have to charge it for 3 days. Easy.
Yeah. Nothing's like that anymore.
No.
Not at all.
Our phones are charging right now.
They have to be, just in case.
Right.
Don't want to take any chances.
I remember like the real selfie in the mirror. It didn't have like phones did not have that front facing camera.
Like well, like it just hope that it turns out.
Oh, even like
Not
with
a digital.
even like the disposable cameras. Oh my god, we were so good at pictures then because the shots like you would take one or two because that's all you could do.
Right.
Because you only had 24 clicks.
Yep.
It rewinds.
Yep.
My first Facebook profile picture, which it doesn't exist anymore because I actually completely deleted the profile, was with my BlackBerry in my mom's bathroom. I'm wearing a waffle thermal top that's like a light turquoise with pandas all over it with a big red Christmas bow
Wow.
around my head. My black hair's down, and I'm going.
I did not join Facebook. I resisted. I didn't
could see
join
that.
Facebook until 2009. And so I think my first profile picture on Facebook was either one that I used for my resume, or actually a wedding photo. It might have been a wedding photo. Yeah.
The only reason why I got Facebook, by the by, was very different in 2004. The only reason why I got a Facebook was because that's Clark and or Templeton. As you can see, they're actually there, but they're sleeping, which is why they're very quiet. But the only reason I got Facebook is because my dear friend, she was like, our college was one of the only colleges to have it.
Yeah.
And the guy she was dating went to like it's a popular art school in Detroit. Yeah. And she didn't even know what it was until he was like, I'm so mad I can't get a Facebook. And she's like, what's Facebook? And he was like, just nah. And she's like, hey, can you do me a favor and get a Facebook? So she got like a fleet of people to get a Facebook and talk about how great it was, even though we're like, we have no idea how to use this.
Yeah.
I remember I'd actually put in the call numbers to my class and find people.
Oh, wow.
And then we'd like sit, like, because that was the main purpose at the time, was to network like colleges. You needed a college email handle to even get one. You had to be in that kind of organization. And I just remember her just, oh yeah, we got Facebook, like, and I was like, yeah, I have no idea what this is. And I cannot believe I kept it for as long as I did, but I'm glad I got rid of it.
My experience with Facebook at the beginning was very different because I actually graduated from college the year that Facebook came out. So it wasn't something that I really knew about at all. And then by the time I knew about it, a bunch of people had it already. It was like a thing that anybody could do.
Did you still have to use your like .edu address to get it?
No.
Okay, so by that time, it was like more expanded.
Yeah, it was like Yahoo address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I remember my ex-husband actually bought his Michigan college address just so he could get a Facebook, because that was when MySpace was hitting its prime.
Okay. I did have a MySpace.
I actually got my Facebook before I got MySpace, but everyone that didn't go to college didn't have Facebook. So then I was like, okay, I need a MySpace. And I actually made a page for Jax too.
Yeah, I didn't really use my MySpace. I basically created it and created like a profile or whatever, and then didn't really do anything with it because I was like, I don't know, whatever.
MySpace.
Wasn't my thing.
Even though it was technically your space and Tom was your friend.
Right. Did you ever have LiveJournal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember live journaling.
I remember like copying, pasting like HTML to make my comments, not say comments.
That, and I also remember using AIM.
Yes.
And being away at school and literally instant messaging with somebody that was literally in the next room to me, with both of our doors open, mind you. Like, just, hey, I think we're just gonna, hey, what are you doing? Like, I literally could have gotten my butt up, and I could have even yelled it, and they would have heard me.
I think that's why, like, when I watch Pen 15, that really resonates with me. Like, putting up the, like,
away message
with lyrics.
Yes.
% sign or N% sign.
Yeah.
And or T % sign to say the time. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Yep.
And then, you know, it wasn't cool to have your name out on the internet then.
Right.
But now everybody has like their first and last name out there.
Yeah.
It seems like. But I remember that was a huge no-no. And then I remember when I made my screen name my name.
Yeah.
What was your first screen name?
For AIM or AOL?
Either or.
So I have two different ones. My screen name for AOL was G Thang 82. So GTHANG 82. So my younger cousin, she was 10 years younger, is 10 years younger than me. And when she was little, so I mean, I'm an only child. She's also an only child. And I was very close with her mom growing up. Like her mom was like an older sister to me. And, you know, we would do Christmases and all that. She would spend the night kind of a stuff. When she had my cousin, naturally we were always all together. So my cousin became like a little sister. So I was always with her. And she couldn't pronounce my name correctly. So she just called me Gigi.
Oh, okay.
So, and then as a result, one of my oldest friends that I've been friends with since like 6th grade, he just started calling me G in middle school. And even honestly, even like to this day, like if I were to see him, we'd give each other a hug and kiss and be like, hey, G, what's up? You know, like, so it became a thing. So that's where that came from. My AIM screen name became Spree 42082. Yeah.
Very straightforward.
So I went for, you know, I got rid of the G Thang.
I had a different internet provider, so didn't have I had AOL at a point, but then my first actual like chatting with ASL, was Zebras.
Oh.
Like
zebras?
Like zebra ass, but I like ran it together. So, but here's the thing.
That's cute. That's cool.
I was just thinking about it. Someone could really think some terrible things about me.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
But at the time when I made it, it was just, I put ass in a screen name. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then eventually my screen name became my government name.
Yeah.
My old government name.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just remember thinking, and then I would So at first you could only have it like all lowercase, and then they changed it where you could do upper and lowercase.
Yeah.
So I made the ASS capital.
Oh.
I know.
That was gutsy.
It was. Luckily, my mom didn't know too much about the internet.
Yeah. I didn't get a computer really until high school. And I got the internet in like, I think my junior year maybe. I think I was like 16.
I remember at orientation in college,
Yeah.
I was told that at that time, it was still like 60% of internet users use dial-up.
Yeah, I was excited to go away to college where Ethernet was included.
Like that was the thing. I just remember like someone laughing about it, but I was still using dial-up at the time because you only used internet. You didn't use it the way you use it today.
Well, at home, that's all we had was dial-up.
Yeah.
So if I went away, like when I was at school, I had the Ethernet. If I came back home, I was just going to have dial-up. So yeah, my mom, and actually I think it wasn't until pretty recently that my mom finally got internet at the house.
Well, probably because of work.
Yeah. Especially with working from home.
Yeah, my mom's not buying into this internet fad. I remember I was over her house and she needed me to order her Bare Minerals makeup.
Okay.
I said, "What?" And she's like, "I want a shade up from where I am." And I'm like, "Okay." And I did it on my phone. I was like, "Done. It should be delivered here in 2 days." And she's like, and I'm like, "Aren't you amazed by that?" And this was like the second generation iPhone.
Yeah.
When I did this. And she's like, "Yeah, it's cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, but isn't it amazing? Like, I'm doing this from technically a phone." And she's like, "Yeah, but I knew it was going to happen." like she knew the internet was going to happen. She was like unimpressed by it. She's just always very impressed when the thing gets there that fast. That impresses her more, the speed of the post office,
Oh
than the
yeah.
concept of having the world in the palm of your hands.
I do everything on my phone now. And especially with having like I have my laptop and I use my laptop for certain things, but like with having my my nails this long, I can't type fast like I am used to when I'm typing on a laptop because
Do you do it this way? Because I read videos. I watched a bunch of videos and ladies were saying just use your pads.
I it's hard for me because I naturally do it the way I was taught in my computer class where we learned the typing and did all the classes and all that. So I still do that and I just I can't do it. So I'm way faster just doing everything on my phone. It's like I said, as far as like when I need to do something like that, I usually am doing it on my phone.
I do like a lot of like professional things
Yeah.
on the laptop. I don't trust my phone always because sometimes things just don't attach, or they're like, oh, this file's too big or whatever, and it's just like, oh, can't they figure that out? I hate it when I'm trying to send something as simple as like a song.
Right. Well, I hate when it's like, oh, small, medium, large, actual size. And I'm like, I don't, how would I know?
Right, and then you send the actual size and it's way too big.
Right.
Like I don't have an idea of how many pixels.
I
I
don't.
hate that.
Don't make like
That's why I love.
just send the one that's the best.
That's why well, do you want the best quality or the fastest download?
I know.
That's why I love Canva, because when we make things, we're like YouTube.
Yes.
I don't have to look it up.
And then copy to Instagram. I'm sure there's even easier ways of using things. Sometimes I just have to like play with it to like figure it out,
To
you
like
know?
get with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it when I'm trying to send something when I just want to send it from A to B and they're like, we need to make a Google link. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, no. No thanks. Don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when something like that kind of like those kinds of things happen, I just say never mind.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll just airdrop it the next time.
Yeah.
And normally that quality is better anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with the link. So even if you do something, well, I guess it's different because it's normally media like videos that get that message. But even like the picture quality thing, it's like, why are you letting me decide?
Right.
They can improve on that.
Yeah, I'm not very savvy. It's like I know for a fact that like there's so much more that I can do that I just don't know how to do. Because I'm like, well, I guess I don't need to.
But you can learn.
But I can learn. Gosh, so many prodigy things I could be doing.
Yeah, you gotta be working. Well, you just gotta pick one and see if it is the thing.
It's true.
But you gotta get at least knee deep. Speaking of knee deep, remember how you'd watch TV and a scary thing that could happen would be getting caught in quicksand? Did you know you can't die in quicksand? It's not a thing.
It's not?
Quicksand is a thing, but it's actually relatively easy to get out of it.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something about that.
Well, it was another one of my Wikipedia tangents.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
I was like, can you die in quicksand? They're like, no. The likelihood of that is very low.
Okay.
But remember how that was a thing? Like, I remember they had it on Perfect Strangers. I'm sure they probably had it on Family Matters. I'm sure Carl and Steve Urkel or something.
See, I was thinking more like Indiana Jones.
Well, that too.
Obviously.
But also do the Urkel.
Okay, Indiana Jones. I mean, that's a...
Do the Urkel. I'm sorry, no.
Okay, but I'm just saying, it's a good-looking man.
I don't know.
Wow.
Who played Indiana Jones?
I think
it'd be a great costume.
That'd be an easy costume.
Yeah, I actually wanted to be Laura Croft.
Okay.
I actually had like picture me with these like cool camo shorts.
Okay.
But I think I bought them at New York and Company because they were like $7.
Yeah.
And I had like boots on but my knee socks were panda and I was like, oh, it's a really blue sky. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm like, this is kind of Laura Croft-esque. I should do this, but never followed through on it. Found Carmen San Diego, so much easier.
Oh gosh, love
I
Carmen
love
San
that I have
Diego.
such a strong go-to costume.
That is a very strong go-to, and it's nice that it's an easy one too. You know, you don't have it doesn't have to involve like a ton of extras.
I want a better hat, but I have a hat that suffices.
It for now. It does what it needs to do.
And I feel like if Carmen San Diego were to become a person, I think I would closely resemble her.
You embody.
I think my hair's getting a little too light, but you know, Carmen's always changing.
Always changing. She's pretty great.
She probably has a lot of money in gentleman collars.
Maybe.
I mean, come on, Carmen San Diego.
Yeah, Carmen San Diego. She's hot.
I mean, she's like, if you think about it, like, okay, I don't know why, but I also think of Catwoman, but there's a lot of liability being Catwoman. You have a target on your back. Carmen San Diego, you just got to keep moving and you have money.
Well, and Catwoman jumps from high places and lands like a
Like, she
cat.
has to be,
Nimble.
like, but I guess they're not. They're criminals.
That's right. She is a criminal.
She is a criminal.
I forget
she's a
that
con
she's
artist.
a criminal.
She's a con artist.
Man, she's like a hero to me.
The other day, Monday called me, and he found this like block of cheese, and he's like, "What's the name of the rat on Carmen San Diego?" And then I go, "Oh, Wonder Rat." Block of cheese. He found a block of cheese and said, What's the name?"
What's the name?
But he did a good job with the beef jerky.
Oh, yes.
He's really good at fulfilling our snacks.
Yes. Snacks. Teriyaki and original.
Which I didn't even know. I mean, I was actually thinking we were going to get a Slim Jim.
I love Slim Jim. Snap to a Slim Jim.
But I feel like those were probably like the healthier of the jerkies because he always tries to find us healthier options, which we appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Rat.
Cheese. Love it. So good.
That's cheesin'.
Oh, you're
Speaking of cheesin', I've been wanting to get this off of my chest for a while.
Oh, okay.
So I dated someone.
Okay.
Let's call him
Oh, man.
Giovanni.
Okay. Do I know this Giovanni?
You do.
Okay.
He was married for some time and then ended up getting a divorce.
Okay.
And Giovanni's wife
Oh.
was very extra.
When I was cooking?
Extra, correct. Won't get into that side of the story. However, I really wanted to be his friend. I thought after 10 years we could be friends.
Yeah.
And
you should be able to be.
You know, like I helped him plan things
Yeah.
for his children.
See.
And it was fun, like reminiscing with him, like
Yeah.
on a totally platonic level.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, he's like, we should just limit our contact.
Yeah.
You're
I don't
seeing
know.
somebody. I think we should limit our contact. And I'm like, after everything, because the part I'm not telling you about was actually very stressful.
Oh, absolutely.
I just, how do you throw away a friendship with somebody when they're only trying to be kind? That really hurt me, and you know it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That really hurt me. And, you know, Giovanni, if you're listening, I don't forget anything, but I can always forgive.
Okay.
That really upset me.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of out of nowhere to me. I remember when you told me about it, and I thought, and I was like, okay, well, is it because of this? Is it because of this? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not somebody that believes that men and women can't be friends and only friends and
Right.
I mean, you know,
aren't we adults now?
Right. Well, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say like super close or whatever, but I consider, you know, my ex-husband, like we're friends, you know.
Yeah.
He called me or texted me for my birthday. I do the same holidays, you know, whatever. When stuff was going on with family, you know, we kind of keep each other in the loop. We were together for a long time and we didn't work out. and that's okay. And it's like, why wouldn't we be on okay terms? It doesn't mean we're getting back together or that either one of us would even consider anything like that.
I mean, if anything, I should not be on good terms with him at all, considering
Right.
what I went through.
Oh gosh, no.
And it's just that was just so shocking
Yeah.
because I I think in general people receive me as a kind person.
Mhm.
Sassy,
Definitely sassy.
swagger,
Swag.
naturally blonde hair.
Obviously.
Absolutely. You got the right one, baby. Right? So
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
it's just like, okay, dude. Okay, brah.
Bruh.
Met a lot of bras on the
We met a lot of
on the
bruh.
cruise.
Bruh.
Uh
It was a lot.
but fun.
It was fun.
Oh, we're bouncing back and forth, but the cruise obviously is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how they didn't let us karaoke? And they were all sad songs, so they filled up. It's only an hour long. That I did put in the survey
Yeah.
that it was absurd. I actually put in there that it was absurd
Because something like that, you can't fit much in there because the songs are what, 3-4 minutes long.
yeah,
usually?
depending.
And sometimes if you get somebody that wants to sing like Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Or if they show up early and put in like 3 requests. Like, I mean, maybe
Right.
they limit it. I don't know. But these were like not, they were very, they would have had more success if they said, who wants to sing this song in the room?
Right.
Because then they had control over the vibe.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, we tend to stay up later. We have other things to do. Like, some people, like, that was their event for the
Yeah.
night. And even then, that was like pushing it time wise. But man, we would have killed it. And that would have been the first time I
Yeah.
publicly karaoke'd.
Well, we'll make that happen.
It has to be like somewhere where I would never,
Never.
I have
see
no
any of these
control
people.
of the circumstances.
So next time,
Hopefully
we're,
the key is
like-
right. If the key's not right, then I have a problem.
Yeah. Usually you can pull it up on like a YouTube, like karaoke of this.
It looked like they had like old school books and discs.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as like here, because in most cases the karaoke key is gonna be about, like if you type up like karaoke version or whatever.
But I'm saying they probably don't do that on the cruise.
Oh, I'm just saying for you for hearing.
Oh, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a circumstance where I don't even know what key's coming up. I just always hope it's the right one.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't have stupid backing vocals.
Depending on the song, I like the backing
No,
vocals.
it's not even depending on the song. They're not matching me. Like, they sound different than me.
Yeah.
You don't sound different. Like, if it was a recording of you, fine. I know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Right.
Who put that there?
You don't know what that is.
I mean, I put that there. I did
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's Rilakuma. And then a muff
So
of
cute.
Rilakuma, which I didn't even use the last 3 winters.
No.
My muff. No, because I don't want to get it dirty. But then, if not now, then when?
Right.
I know. I gotta stop
I'm the same way.
being in a pickle.
I think we're probably.
It's about that time.
Yeah, I think we probably are at the time where it might be time to like.
So to prove that we actually did plan on pulling words, I put them all in that bag so that when we were aboard the ship, we wouldn't lose, our continuum of how we do things.
Trusted seal.
So now
Okay.
she's drawing the word.
I gotta mix it up. I only can think of like a few things that might be in there, and really the only one that I can think of right now is white shorts.
I know. It's like, I bet we're not going to get to white shorts.
Until like the very end. Oh wait, no, this is the one we did today.
Okay.
That's in there again. So we're not doing Mount Everest again.
No.
Okay, we're gonna make this happen. Here we go.
Hopefully I didn't put those other words in there. I may have. So
Well, if we get that one,
we'll just discard.
Oh God.
Really? And I'm guessing it's not white shorts because we're never that lucky.
No.
What is it?
Pregnancy. Oh man.
We're gonna have to. We don't want to offend people.
It's true. But it's okay.
Hey, pregnancy.
Pregnancy. That's so, yeah.
So a week from now, you'll hear us start with the word pregnancy and trickle on down.
Trickle on down.
I mean, we trickled all over the place. There was a lot of precipitation on Mount Everest.
Little precipitation.
A little thunder.
A little bit of lightning. A little bit of freezing rain, perhaps. Some
Hail.
Almost a hailstorm. I don't know that we got there. We thought it might have been coming.
Almost.
I mean, when we were talking about geography,
Yeah, I got a little.
That was a little dicey.
Yeah.
But you know what? Well deserved.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to get it off my chest.
This is a great place to do that.
And then, there's one more thing I do want to do. I recently had a loss in my life. And, any loss is not a good thing. One of my, I guess, colleagues in a way, recently passed away. And I wanted to put it out there. You're missed, man. He was the one that called me, and this is very, very something I wouldn't even think of calling myself. He said I was the Vivaldi of dance.
Yes.
And when you explained to me why that made sense, it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I only wish the best for his family and all of my friends. We're still mourning, but at the same time, like, you're at peace, man. We all love you. And thank you for being who you were. Man, Vivaldi.
Vivaldi of dance.
I wish we had some Vivaldi right now.
We don't.
Later.
After
we watch Kim Wells again.
Kim Wells.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, thank you for joining us on the 100% Tuesday podcast. I am your resident blonde Asian.
I'm Code Red.
And be sure to follow us on our socials.
Please.
Our website, 100%tuesday.com on the interwebs. And, follow us. Talk to us. I mean, we're eventually going to run out of words, so where are we going to get them from?
Right. Comment. Give us a comment.
From you.
Absolutely.
Uncle Sam wants you.
You.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Bye.
Bye.